Welcome to the Thunder Hour Podcast, hosted by Treh Hamilton and produced by Leif Dietrich. All right, it's time for Thunder Hour Episode 3. We are live here in studio. I am flying solo today. My best friend is not available to shoot the first half of the podcast, but he will be here for the second half of today's show. So thank you to everybody who has decided to join us, or myself today. We got a lot to break down. The season's officially underway, and I am super excited to get things going. So why don't we just start it off right away, as we have a little highlight package that we drew up for everybody, and I think people are going to appreciate it. The Thunder opened their season against the Petrolia Squires last Saturday at Tillsonburg at the Tillsonburg Memorial Arena. I did my first call with Gavin Michaels. Thanks a lot, Gavin. It was awesome to do that with you, by the way. I hope you're listening. So Gavin is officially now moved out west, and that was his final call as a Thunder broadcaster. So for him to be able to do that with me, be able to kind of pass that torch on, it was great. I honestly had a great time. I think things went very smooth. There were some things I want to work on personally, but Gavin definitely showed me the ropes. So that's definitely one way to put it. But yeah, so the Thunder came out on top, 5-3, the final score over Petrolia, who came into that game 2-0-0. They had started the season hot, but the Thunder ended up cooling the fire. So let's cut to our highlight package. Enjoy. All right, Squires in Tillsonburg taking on the Thunder. Squires come into this game with a 2-0 record. Thunder, this is their first game of the season, and opening the scoring early is Corey Polly.
Thunder, keep it in the zone. Quoto, down low, tipped on goal, save on McQueen. Another great stop by the goaltender, Brandon Campbell. Abraham will take a shot. It's down into the corner after it was blocked aside. McQueen, look to the middle, hoping to find his man. He can, and look out, Polly is sprung. Here comes Corey Polly in on Sagrod, moves, scores. Corey Polly, we talked about it together in the pregame.
All right, early in the second period, Thunder get on the board. Newcomer Brandon Kudo looks backdoor and finds Jamie McQueen, the Thunder superstar, and just like that, the score is even.
Cleared, and they do. Now they're going after the puck. It's into the corner, taken there by Quoto, and so shoots, scores! McQueen gets the goal. What a goal! Quoto had the puck, and it was sent out front, and waiting there was McQueen. What a beautiful goal!
Absolutely beautiful way to score the first goal of the season, and who other than Jamie McQueen, the best player on this team. He got the loudest cheers.
Later on, a mad scramble in front of the net results in newcomer Spencer Hutchison with a beautiful backhander top shelf. And just like that, the Thunder have the lead.
You're going to get a call from that line.
Puck is to the point. There's a shot. Loose in front. Shoot. Scores! Nice goal. The puck lay there, and then they finally got to it. And it was Hutchison who got his first goal of the season. Nice goal.
What a beautiful backhander there by Spencer Hutchison, as we mentioned. Former captain of the GOJHL St. Thomas
After
Stars.
a crazy no-goal call in front of the net after a quick whistle, the Thunder line up for a face-off, and just like that, Chris McGuffin finds the back of the net, and the Thunder take a 2-goal lead.
Here, keep your foot on the gas, and let's try to get a third goal before the end of this period, as we're at 3 minutes and 13 seconds.
They scored! You said that perfectly. I think Redbury got the goal. The puck went in front of the net, and I think it was tipped, but I'm not sure if Redbury's going to get credit for it. Actually, I think the person who's it looked like McGuffin's going to get credit for it.
Redbury to McQueen. McQueen steers in, left wing, drops back. Thompson, shot saved by Campbell. Now it's Redbury. Swings it along the back wall, finds McQueen. McQueen patiently looks, Forsland, shot, score!
Yes!
Jamie Forsland! His first of the season, his first as a Thunder. What a pass from Jamie McQueen, and the Thunder restore a 2-goal lead.
You know, I think the biggest thing that got that goal going, you were saying the other team's playing with a shortened bench. The defense was out there forever, and they just got tired, and the Thunder kept coming.
Marsh plays it to an open wing, and Knotts plays it further. There it's picked up by Fitzmaurice. In. Here he comes. Pass across. Shot. Score! shot! What a shot and what a play from Mitch Fitzmaurice. And there you are, Spencer Hutchison, his second of the game, and the Thunder lead 5-2. And you know what that means, folks? It's a Domino's 5 for 5 night. 3 medium, 3 topping pizza with the 5th goal of the game and a beauty from Spencer Hutchison.
Thunder keep their foot on the gas throughout the contest and come out with this one, a 5-3 win over the rivaled Petrolia Squires. Thunder start the season 1-0-0, and the Squires fall to 2-1.
Final score tonight, your Thunder 5 and the Squires 3. Final shots on goal, Squires 30, Thunder 28. Great game all around, Gavin, and thank you so much for doing this with me tonight, my friend.
To watching you and JD
Absolutely
continue this, and thank you for being part of the team. Thank you, Tillsonburg, the team, management, and the players. It's been a great season.
What a great game. Hopefully this is a great season. Thanks again, Gavin, and this is a send-off from Tillsonburg Memorial Arena. I'm Trey Hamilton, play-by-play announcer for the Tillsonburg Thunder, joined alongside my partner in crime, Gavin Michaels. You take care, Gavin, and have a great night, Tillsonburg, and see you later, Petrolia. Let's go, Thunder.
Let's go, Thunder.
All right, so that was the highlight package brought to you by Domino's Pizza. As we mentioned during the highlight package itself and in previous episodes, Domino's is sponsoring the Tillsonburg Thunder this year, and they are offering a Domino's 5 for 5 special at home games. So if you attend Thunder home games and you have your game ticket, or you are, as I said, in attendance, if the Thunder score 5 goals on home ice, you can go to the Marwood Lounge following the game and go see Mrs. Kathy Hawley, and collect a voucher that Domino's has offered. So every time the Thunder score 5 goals on home ice, you get a voucher for a free 3-topping medium pizza. I think that is a great deal, and I'm sure if Leif was here, he would 100% agree. We definitely like our pizza, so thank you to Domino's and shout out to the Thunder for that. But yeah, so let's just do a quick little recap. I know we did the highlights, but I got everything lined up here. So Pauly opens up the scoring, first period. Okay, Thunder didn't really have their legs in the first. It's the first game of the year. Things happen, obviously. But yeah, I didn't mind the play. Abraham tried to take a shot. It bounced off a couple legs. McQueen looked for a guy out front, and it was picked off. It was a good play from Petrolia. They're a skilled team. And they ended up capitalizing. So Corey Pauly on the board, one of the top scorers in the league. You can't stop him every game. Obviously, he's gonna do his thing, get his goals. So, and then we go second period. McQueen gets on the board from Kudo. By the way, we talked to Brandon. The pronunciation for his name is Kudo. So just like the phone company, that was our fault. We were saying Quoto. Just based on the spelling, it looks like it might be Quoto, but it's actually Kudo. So kudos to you, Brandon. A terrible pun. Brandon gets a beautiful backdoor pass to McQueen, ties the game, and then Spencer Hutchison, a guy we talked about last episode that I'm very excited to see. Beautiful backhander in front after this scramble, and boom, just like that, 2-1. And then McGuffin bangs it in after a no-goal call where McQueen, if you were at the game, you remember, McQueen jumped on a rebound and banged it in, but the official lost sight of the puck and blew the whistle early. It's a tough break. That's what happens in this league. You're not going to get every bounce. You're not going to get every call. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for Jamie, but right after that, literally the ensuing face-off, the Thunder scored. McGuffin took a wrist shot. It was one of those change-up wrist shots. It went under the glove hand. Tough break for Campbell, who, by the way, had a great game. Brandon Campbell, great goaltender. I know he shares the net out in Petrolia, but that was a overall great performance from him. He made some big stops, as did our guy, but we'll touch on that after. And then Petrolia got a goal late from Harris. They bounced back. They answered right away after Tillsonburg took that 3-1 lead. So that set us up to go into the third period with a tight game. It was awesome. And then in the corner, as Gavin and I are chatting and we're looking this way at each other, all of a sudden I get a nudge from our camera guy, and he says, look over here, look over here. And Kudo and Biggers are just mixing it up, turned into a good scrap. Kudo got a nice right hand on Biggers, stunned him, and then Biggers wrestled him down, got a couple punches on him. Great scrap. Not much more you could ask for the first game of the season, to be able to come out and get high octane offense, pretty good defensive play, good goaltending all around, and then you get a scrap in there too. It's worth it. And it was funny in chatting with Brandon after the game. he actually was unaware of the ejection rule. He thought it was the same as the Eastern Ontario League, where in the EOSHL you can have 2 fights before you're ejected in the same game. So he thought he was still good to go. He's getting the elbow pads back on, and the ref's like, no, you're going to change. So, and you're sitting for the rest of the night. So that was pretty funny, just to get that, have a conversation with him about it. Brandon's a great guy. I really enjoyed my chat with him after the game, and he's definitely going to be a guest here on Thunder Hour podcast as we move forward. So anyway, that brings us to the third period, and Spencer Hutchison and Jamie Forsland were the goal scorers. Forsland got the 4-2 lead on a nice pass from McQueen. He just had that puck. It felt like for forever, and I know when you watch the highlights it was 4 seconds, but in hockey, 4 seconds, especially at this level, is a long time. And McQueen, quick pass. Forsland, he's got a heck of a shot. He just wires a top shelf. 4-2, and then Mitch Fitzmaurice, and sorry, I said Mitz Fitzmaurice in the actually on the broadcast. That was a pretty funny hiccup there. But Mitch, great steal in neutral ice, wires a little sauce pass about this far off the ice, right on the tape of Hutchison, and he goes across the body of the goaltender Campbell, right over the shoulder. Nice goal, and that would make it 5-2. And then Harris for the Squires would get his second of the game to make it 5-3. It would get interesting, but ultimately the Thunder would just lock it down and finish off the game strong and move to 1-0-0. So that's how you want to start a season, right? You want to be able to come out. You want to be able to establish early, this is what we're all about. This is what we're going to do. And I think they did that well. I think that there were some areas of the game that could definitely use improving. I think obviously it was the first game as a unit, as a team together. So, you got to cut the guys some slack. But I thought overall, against the tough Petrolia team who already had 2 games under their belt, I think that was a really, really, really good game from the Thunder. I feel like obviously they could have had certain aspects of the game that they could have cleaned up. I think the power play could have been better, but I liked the penalty killing, and I really liked the defensive structure of the game. Considering the fact we were without Brandon Barletta and Ryan Martinelli, our 2 top defensemen. I think Abraham and Forsland did a great job on that top pair, and Geldart and Knotts and Big Finn, and everybody held down the fort extremely well. I thought it was a good, well-played game, and you know what? I'll take it. It's a win. So that'll bring us over to our 3 stars of the game. Our 3 stars brought to you by the Tillsonburg Thunder, because they're the ones who choose this, and I just decide to pass it on to you guys. So, third star of the game, we selected Jamie McQueen. He's always one of the 3 stars, it seems like. He had a goal and an assist. He opened the scoring for the Thunder this season. I thought it was a great game from Jamie. He's a difference maker, and just to have him back is an honor. And Jamie, you're going to do great all season long. I feel like him playing with Kudo and Thompson, I think that's a great combination. And we even saw when Kudo was ejected, we saw Redbury hop on that line, and I thought that they did great things. I think that Kudo and McQueen are going to be a strong pair this year, and I'm looking forward to it. So Jamie McQueen, 3rd star, and then Spencer Hutchison, the other newcomer, as we said before, captain of the St. Thomas Stars, heck of a hockey player, got a sniff cup of coffee with the Knights. He's a very intelligent player. He knows where to be on the ice, and we saw that twice with the goalmouth scramble and the backhander top shelf, and then you follow that up with the getting into that open space. Fitzmaurice, there we go. I can't say it again. I'm sorry, Mitch. Fitzmaurice finds him with the sauce pass, and Hutchison's in that perfect position to just bang right off the tape, top shelf. So congrats to Spencer Hutchison, 2nd star of the game. He had 2 goals. And our 1st star of the game, he got to wear the helmet. He's a gritty guy. He always gets his job done. He's, as we've said 100 times, the reason why we love the Thunder, Leif and I. Matt Sagrot, 1st star of the game, as selected by the team. 27 shots, 27 saves on 30 shots. He's holding that 900 save percentage early on. I like it. But Sags was tested. There were definitely some chances in this game for Petrolia to get back in it. Couple of big in tight opportunities, and Sagrot held his own, and I thought he did a great job. I thought Sags played exceptional for the first game of the season. As I said, this is a game where 1 or 2 bounces can swing an entire outcome of a hockey game. So for Sagrot to be able to come in and as I said, hold down the fort and keep the boys in it, I thought it was a great performance, and I think the team was definitely smart in selecting Matt Sagrot for first star of the game. So I just wanted to quickly, before I move on to our next topic, just get a quick drink here. Excuse me, sorry guys. But I wanted to talk about what it meant to me to be able to do our final call with Gavin Michaels. I know I already opened with that, but Gavin's a great guy. He's a character guy. He's always got a smile on his face. He's very intense. He has experience. He called games for the Sudbury Wolves of the OHL, and just to be able to be alongside him for that last call, I think it meant a lot to me. To be able to have that legend of this team, be able to pass that on to me, and be able to kind of give me that last handshake, and have the comfort of having somebody else there with me to do that first call. So thank you, and a huge shout out to Gavin Michaels. It was an honor doing the game with you, Gavin. And if you're ever back in Ontario, if you're ever back in Tillsonburg throughout the season, stop by. I'd love to do it again. I had a blast, and best of luck out in Alberta to you, Gavin, and keep touch with us, and let us know what you think of the Thunder as we go along, Gav. So again, Gavin Michaels, honored to be with you, honored to be joined alongside you. So let's line it up now. We're going to transition to our upcoming game. There's a lot of anticipation. There's a lot of trash being talked, friendly banter, we like to call it. Tillsonburg, your Thunder travel to Woodstock to take on the 0-3 Lakers on the Lakers' home ice. This will be their second home game. They lost a tight game against Strathroy 5-4 in Woodstock last Saturday. Pretty good crowd, almost 300 people. I know Jeff Zare wants to get more people out there, and I'm trying to do my part to try to promote this and get as many people as I can to the game. Unfortunately, those there's a lot of the people I'll be bringing are going to be wearing black and gold. So this is going to be a great matchup. It's a battle of Oxford County. Not a lot of teams play in this league that are within the same county. There's only a few matchups. I know Alveston and Petrolia are in a similar vicinity. Obviously, Strathroy is fairly close to Alveston, but not quite. Like, this is a 20-minute drive, right? This is Tillsonburg, Delhi, and Woodstock are in this triangle, and I think that this is going to be a great rivalry for years to come as Woodstock and Delhi improve, and as Tillsonburg continues their pace. I think this is going to be a great rivalry for quite a long time. So, as I said, Thunder here in Woodstock at Reeves Community Complex, Saturday, 7:45 puck drop on the red pad. So I believe that's just the Olympic size ice here in Woodstock. It's going to be interesting. So I've played a couple of games on the Olympic pad here at Reeves. It's tough. It's a whole different look. The width and the length of the ice, it makes a big difference. And the Thunder have many players that have played overseas and in European leagues where they're accustomed to that ice. And I think Woodstock built their team around size, grit, and finish. And I don't know if they are going to be able to keep up with the speed of the Thunder on that pad, but it's their home ice, so anything can happen. I'm looking forward to it. As I said, they're 0-3. They lost big in their first two games, and then the third game against Strathroy, who's right now the top team in the league, standings-wise. And according to Andrew Rogers' power rankings, the number one team, and they held their own. It was that's the beauty of this league, right? You have the number one team on the power ranking list playing the last team, the 11th team on the power ranking list, and it was a 5-4 game. So I really liked what I saw. I watched the highlights. I think Woodstock's got a solid team, but again, just based on our predictions that Leif and I had made, and I stand by it. I see Tillsonburg winning this one big. I'm going 8-2. I'm going to stick by that 8-2 final score for the Thunder. That is my prediction. Will that hold true? I'm not 100% sure, but that's the beauty of this league. As I said, anything can happen on any given night. So, players to watch. I'm obviously going to be looking out for Jamie McQueen. McQueen's a heck of a player, and why I listed him on here, because that's a no-brainer. You could list McQueen as a player to watch every game and just be cliche, because he's a heck of a hockey player. But I want to see him on the Olympic pad. A lot of people might say, oh, that doesn't make that big of a difference. I think it does. I want to see Jamie playing on the Olympic ice. I want to see him with that extra space and have that extra time to be able to create opportunities, I think it'll be a good look. I'm looking forward to it. So I got McQueen as my player to watch for the Thunder alongside Brandon Kudo. I had to shout you out, Kudo, because I was saying your name wrong. So I knew that this episode I had to say your name at least 5 or 6 times to get it right, so that in the future I remember Kudo. 100% apologize for calling you Quoto and Quuto and all this stuff. Brandon Kudo, again, that first game opened a lot of eyes. Going back to the preseason game against Elvinston, he's a heck of a hockey player. He seems to always be in that right area. We saw him in that game against Petrolia. He's able to open ice for himself. He's able to make chances just using his legs. He's got good hands. He can find those soft areas of the ice that other guys aren't able to find. So I'm looking out for McQueen and Kudo. They're playing on the same line together. So that's obviously going to be very, very cool to watch, because you got speed and you got that high hockey IQ and you got an Olympic ice pad. So to me, it's like a dream come true to be able to watch that. So, excuse me. And also, we're going to line it up with Mike Redbury, captain of the Thunder. He's my last player to watch for Tillsonburg. I'm just Redbury's one of those guys, right? That's where I'm going with this. Mike's a leader through and through. Rebs he's a class act. He's always got that serious face, but when it comes to business, this is something that he takes very seriously. And obviously he's only able to be there 14, 15 games a year. I'm hoping this is going to be one of the games he's going to be there for, because he's a heck of a hockey player and he's the leader of this team. He wears the C for a reason, because he can take this team on his back, and literally and physically he's able to show game in, game out, he is the leader of this team. And he's got that C because he has established with these guys that you know what, there's never say die mentality. There's that always giving effort. Like when we saw that Tilbury series last year, Rebs was one of the guys. Him, Jake Brown, and Weston played on a line together, and it was magical. Those guys wouldn't quit. There was every shift they were on the ice, there were scoring opportunities for the Thunder, and that's something that it's just rare to come by. And Rebs was a huge part of that. He centered that line. Look at Game 7. I got the highlight package. I got the video up on my YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel, and it was just every highlight was Rebs. And if you watch that, going to the pregame shot of that was his face, and he just, excuse me, I bumped into the mic there. Sorry for the podcast listeners on Apple. That's going to sound a little rough, but anyway, his face was just serious. It was just straight face. You could tell he had that all business mentality, and that's why I want to shout out and watch out for Mike Redbury, number 17, captain of the Thunder. If you're a Woodstock fan and you haven't seen these two teams play, or maybe you hadn't got out to a game before and this is your first game, your numbers to look for the Thunder are going to be 86 and 95 and 17. That's my 3 players to watch out for: Brandon Kudo, Jamie McQueen, and Mike Redbury. I'm looking forward to it. And for the Lakers, they have the 2022 Western Ontario Super Hockey League MVP, Kevin Hu. He's a great player. I remember one of the first games I watched as a Thunder fan last year was Plattsville in Tillsonburg, and you could tell right from the warm-ups, Kevin Hu is a difference maker. He's got a great wrist shot, high hockey IQ, one of those guys that just finds the right area, and he's able to put himself in spots to make himself successful. So Kevin's definitely going to be a game changer tomorrow, not tomorrow, but for us 2 days from now, but when the podcast releases tomorrow. He's a heck of a hockey player. I'm looking forward to watching him again. We saw in Woodstock's home opener, 30 seconds into the game, rips a top shelf, absolute beauty of a shot. And the Thunder got to be 100% watching him. He's your guy. He's the guy that's going to beat you every time he's on the ice if you let him. So the Thunder have to game plan around stopping Kevin Hu, and I think they'll do a great job of that, to be honest with you. Defensive game plan wise, the Thunder have a solid coaching staff, and they have a very, very steady defensive core. And I think that if they give Kevin that space, he's going to do damage. But if they're able to take that away, I think it could bode well for the Thunder. So Kevin Hu, and also goaltender Ben Edwards. Ben's a great goaltender. I remember when Woodstock signed him, Leif and myself and a couple others said, that's a good move for Woodstock. I'm looking out for Ben. I want to see what he can do. He's a big guy. He takes up a lot of the net. He's a pretty agile goaltender. I want to see what he can do against this Thunder offense, because this Thunder offense is built to score and score in bunches. So I think defensively Woodstock's going to struggle. I think that this is a big chance to be able to get Edwards tested early. He's probably going to get 35, 40, 45 shots. So depending on what the Thunder bring at him, I want to see what Ben Edwards has to offer. And I've heard a lot of good things about Ben. I heard he's a character guy, and I heard that he's a difference maker as well. So Ben Edwards, goaltender for the Woodstock Lakers, and Kevin Hu are my two players to watch for the Woodstock Lakers as they take on the Tillsonburg Thunder. So we're going to wrap it up here for the first half of the podcast. We're going to be back for a second half, and that's where I want to lean into our exciting special guest star tonight. We are going to be shooting an interview with one of my favorite Thunder players, class act, veteran, former WOAA champion with the Tillsonburg Thunder, a guy who's been through it all, a guy who gives everything he's got every time he's on the ice, a family man, a stand-up guy, overall one of those guys where, he is part of the glue that makes a hockey team a team, right? You can have a bunch of individuals playing hockey, that's fine. But when you have a guy like Finn, he is a key cornerstone member of this team. So we're looking forward to it. We're going to take a quick break. That concludes our first half of Thunder Hour. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the first portion of the show. Leif will be back with me. We'll be doing the interview later on tonight with Mike Findlay. This is all going to release in one episode. Again, Mike Findlay, number 2, alternate captain, 15-year veteran of the Tillsonburg Thunder, is set to join us next here on Thunder Hour. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Thunder Hour. This is episode 3. I'm Trey Hamilton, joined alongside Leif Dietrich, and we are extremely pleased and honored to be joined in studio on Zoom, live with one of our favorite Thunder players, an absolute legend of the Tillsonburg Thunder, class act, awesome guy to be around, always gives you a laugh. And I mean, like I said, when you think of the Tillsonburg Thunder, this is the guy you think about. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Mike Findlay.
Thanks, boys. I'm glad to be here. Pumped.
Absolutely. 2 Philly fans and a Leaf fan, so at least we outnumber him tonight, so we can give him the Ryan Reeves treatment, right?
those two teams are pretty close together.
Absolutely, we're right up there with the Leafs. I don't think the Leafs stand a chance against the Flyers, right? But anyway, let's have a conversation based on yourself, Mike. We just this is what we wanted to do with the Thunder Hour. We wanted to have interviews with players, coaches, executives, management, all that stuff, just to get fans a look that they might not get to see of the Tillsonburg Thunder. So anyway, like I said again, thanks so much for joining us. But I wanted to kind of jump into it and ask you, what has kept you drawn to the Thunder organization to the point where now you're back for a 15th season? Like, what got you hooked on the Thunder, and what's kept you with the Thunder?
Well, the year before the Thunder started, I was trying out for the Vipers, and just kind of kept getting strung along, keep coming to practice. And that was the year after I just got done playing junior, so trying to figure everything out. And then that wasn't going to work out. And then I was working at Source for Sports in London. And one of the guys that I worked with is Chris Jackson, and he is now the owner of London Sports Excellence, that we have a good relationship with the Thunder and everything. Mm-hmm. But he caught wind of the senior team, and then they had a design contest. So him and our designer there, they kept trying to design the jerseys and stuff, and then they were telling me about it. So I was like, well, when's the first skate? So then went to the first skate, and then ended up having a pretty good year that year. If anybody's been around me, I like to tell, first year, leading scorer, not a big deal. Haven't been anywhere near there in a long time. But got through that first year, obviously had a really good year, blew my quad out before the playoffs, though, that sucked. And then every year, I got to play with a lot of guys I played junior with or junior against. A lot of buddies along the way, and then just every year just got more into it, and then being close to winning it a couple times kept me back, and then we won it. So then obviously you get that feeling, you want to do it again. And then our team kind of took a bit of a hit the year after, even though we won I usually call it the toilet bowl, but we won't, you don't have to use that if you don't want to.
Don't worry.
But, and then, and then some other buddies came, and, I always said I was only going to play 10 years, and now here I am, would be 16 if we didn't have the COVID year.
Yeah.
But then, like a guy like McGuffin, I've been playing with him since St. Thomas, so it's been like 20 years.
Yeah, literally.
And through him, I got to be good buddies with Queener, and then there's Barzy too, who's on the team. But like with Queener coming last year, he told me I wasn't allowed to retire. I had to play with him, even though I wasn't retiring anyways.
Yeah, attaboy.
So he's been telling me I'm not allowed to shut her down until he wants to. So I don't know when that'll be, but
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how many years I got left in it, but I've been getting treated really well here, or there, I should say. I've had Bill's been there the whole time. Obviously, Holly's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
The original GM, Dan Hamilton, he treated me really well. The town's been good to me. Like, I've got no complaints other than, the odd time you have a fan in the stand that yells at you or something like that. But I love that either way because they're into the game. So
absolutely.
It doesn't matter to me. But yeah, no, I've been getting treated well. And I love playing physical hockey.
Oh, yeah,
so
you do.
Giving that up to go play Sunday mornings in Tempsford is not very appealing to me.
Absolutely.
So we're going to keep going until the wheels fall off, I think. Or Bill and Holly tell me I'm done. Take me out back.
Exactly, yep. No more. You're not allowed. Yeah. You got to get on the bench now.
I love it. I still love it, right?
Yep,
like
for sure.
I wouldn't be playing if I didn't. So, and like being in the room with the boys, that'll obviously be the one thing I miss when I finally decide to shut her down, because the pickup games and stuff like that, those dressing rooms just aren't the same.
No,
like,
not at all.
When you get into that competitive environment and you're around the guys like that, there's just nothing like that. But I'll miss that. But I'm talking like I am retiring, but I'm not. I'm not retiring.
Exactly.
No, I love it too much.
For sure. It's an awesome game. It's an awesome brand of hockey. We love watching it, and you're a big part of that, right? Like we came out just as guys that were just looking for something to do on a Saturday night, and he's a Leafs fan, so who wants to watch those guys? Exactly. That whole story was because of you guys getting me hooked on the team, because we didn't come till probably mid-December, and we just blended in with everybody else, got a feel for how things were. And honestly, when we walked in, we thought it was just glorified beer league, and after watching it and seeing the skill level in this league, and we were like, wow, like it's incredible, and it's great entertainment. As I said, being a Flyers fan, I remember telling you that upstairs in the Marwood Lounge last year, saying, well, I can't. I know you're a Philly fan too, and you guys are more entertaining to me than watching them play. So, and I think you guys probably could have put up a good fight against them last year, but no, it's well, exactly. But anyway, Leaf.
Yeah, I remember you coming out, and like the room, we're in the dressing room, and like everyone's like, who is this guy with the drum?
Yeah.
Like you were a hot topic in the room with the boys.
Let's go. Well, I wanted to bring that. So the funny story is, you guys played Strathroy for round one, right? And Dad and I were out for the couple games before the season ended. I can't remember. I think it was Alora and like Delhi or whatever. And the crowd wasn't too into it. And, Tillsonburg does always seem to draw a pretty decent crowd, but I'm sure being there for 15 years, you've seen the downsides of the crowds and the upsides, and we were like, what's a way we can get the fans more engaged? So Dad just thought, let's get a cowbell or whatever, and him and I went to a Barrie Colts game, so we had cowbells already, and I thought, that's not enough. I said, growing up, what was one thing that when I played football, and one of the things that in high school that I always loved was we'd always have a couple kids that would go in and take the drums out of the music class and come out and bang on the drums and get the crowd going. And I thought, what, that would be cool to bring that to a hockey team, and what better than my local team. So on the way to the game, it was like, I don't know, we wanted to get there, 10 after 7, and it was like 6:45, and I'm like, Dad, let's go to Long and McQuaid's. So we stopped over at the music store in Tillsonburg. Shout out to them, because they had exactly what I wanted, and they just had this little. It was just a basic, standard percussion drum type of thing, and they had the mallets, and for like $25. Sorry to the guy in Strathroy whose feelings I hurt, who told me that I was too old to bang a drum, but anyway, $25. I was like, what, I want to do it for you guys, right? Because if we can get that crowd on their feet, start this, let's go Thunder, get everybody going, maybe we can start something special. And I know that you guys are the ones doing that on the ice, but us as fans, it's the most we can do. We're beer league goalies. we are what we are, you know. But be able to watch you guys and kind of live our dreams through you guys too. We want to do whatever we can. So being in the crowd, getting the drum going, getting the fans on their feet. That was all part of it. Now it's up to him and my dad to keep that going because I'm doing the play-by-play. But it's
cool. So when we were in the old league and we played against Mapleton, they played at Palmerston.
Yeah,
they had a guy like that.
Yeah,
it was a frying pan and a wooden spoon.
No way.
And he'd come to, like, when we beat them in the finals.
Yeah,
he would come to our arena.
He'd come to Tilsonburg.
He would do just like what you were doing in the other barns, but he'd be there with this frying pan and his wooden spoon, just hammering it.
Nice.
And you think a drum is loud and annoying? Oof.
Yeah.
Try a frying pan and high pitched ting.
No kidding. Ding 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 ding.
Oh yeah.
That is crazy. Wow.
I don't know what the Tilbury fans would have thought of that.
Oh, they weren't fans of anything we did, and I think it was mainly because of what you guys did on the ice that they didn't like us, because we didn't really. We were respectful, and that's one thing I've liked about this league so far from a fan base perspective is every barn we've went to, we felt welcomed, and the fans, it's friendly banter, right? Like, oh, ha, laughing at us, and then, JB goes and undresses the whole team with 40 seconds left, and it's a ha, laughing at you. And,
that was an okay goal.
That was okay. I think I'd say Sports Center top 50, not top 10, but, it was...
Well, he was on the Sports Center the year before.
Yeah, I remember who told me
Colin Dunn robbing him.
Yep, exactly. It was the opposite. He was on the
other... Yeah, he's on the other side.
He's on the wrong end of it, but of course. But no, that was I love this league for that too, being able to go to other barns. Strathroy, a little bit questionable. Every other barn we've been to that we traveled to, we've been welcome, with open arms. I feel like it'll be the same thing this year with Dunville and Orangeville and the new barns we haven't been to. Like I went to Squires games as a little kid growing up in the Petrolia area, but I was on the home side, so coming in as a visitor, I think it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. So. But, anyway, Leif, why don't you go ahead and shoot your questions?
Just want to say thank you for coming on the podcast with us, and I just want to know what your expectations are for for the Thunder this year.
God, they're the same for me every year, just like Bill was saying. Like, it's win or bust, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I've been here long enough. We know we have a good team, just like we had the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. Obviously disappointed with how those years ended, but no, we expect to win every year. Absolutely. Like I'm not continuing to play just because I want to play hockey, right? Mm-hmm. Like, no, I'm playing because I want to win. Mm-hmm. Like, for sure. However we got to do it, as long as we got to get everybody on board, everybody rowing the same direction, mm-hmm. and then hopefully we can pull it out this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, after last couple of years, it was tough, I mean, you're right there. And, I mean, last year was tough for you guys because I could tell you guys were gassed and, you had all these issues going on. And the Tilbury series totally drained everybody of what they had. I mean, you guys put everything, like, balls out into that series. And then to Stratford was rested. They were fast. They were young. And, I mean, Petrie put together a good team. Right? Yeah. So what
they were healthy. Yeah. They were buzzing. Yeah. Everything we weren't.
Well, and I said that
and then we lose Rebs, right away, game one, and then that hurt us too.
And all the bounces,
and we had all kinds of other injuries too, right?
Yep, and game one too, like the bounces everywhere. I was like, those backboards in Stratford are not forgiving, and I picked that up right away. We're at the game, and it's like every little bounce that, like I said to him, hockey's usually like a 50-50. You hope, you're going to get bad bounces and good bounces. You're hoping it's about 50-50, balance the game out. It seemed like that first game, it was like 100-0 in terms of the bounces, and you can't make excuses, but I mean, it's hard to bounce back from that, right? Like, so it was a tough situation, but that's why I wanted to ask you my next question about, you mentioned it a little bit already, but you were part of that WOAA, as you call it, the Toilet Bowl championship winning team. And so I wanted to ask you...
The single A title.
Exactly.
Not the double A.
The single A. That doesn't count for anything. Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, what is that feeling like to win a championship in senior hockey? Because most of us will never get to feel that feeling.
Well, I've been lucky. I won a junior championship in my hometown when I was 16. And then I won the big one in Tilsonburg in 14-15 season. Yeah. And like that was unreal. Like the celebration there. Like, I don't know if you guys know who Larry is, but he was he's part of like Special Olympics. Okay. He used to always be around the room. He'd always grab the pucks for us after warm up or whatever.
I do know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He'd always come in, he'd have some speech or whatever.
That's awesome.
But then he ended up falling and breaking his arm, and he's kind of scared to come to the rink. that is, I will never ever forget him during that celebration, because like they had a good spread for us, all kind of champagne and beer and everything. So all the boys had a champagne bottle and like we're just spraying it everywhere. Well, once he saw that, he thought that was amazing.
Yeah, of course.
So he grabbed, I think, like 8 guys' bottles, and he started doing that. And then he got to the last one, did it, and he just said, "See ya, boys," and he just hucked it in the air.
No way.
Luckily, when it hit the ground, it didn't shatter. But
that's awesome.
That's hopefully Larry will watch it, because I've been bugging him to come back. He came back once. Was it last year?
Yeah.
Probably the best hug I've ever had in my life.
Oh, that's awesome.
But no, winning that was unreal. Like there's nothing better, right? Like that's what you play the whole season for, to win, right?
Absolutely.
So no, it was incredible. And then the next year when we won the single A title, didn't have the same excitement to it.
Exactly.
Even though we did have a house rented, and we did party pretty good that night.
Oh,
but
I bet.
On the ice in the room wasn't the same.
Yeah, it wasn't the same feeling after tasting that glory the year before, and then getting into the single A, like we said. And it's, at the end of the day, you're still a champion, right? Nobody can ever take that away from you. So
yeah, I'm just texting my wife right now. My one daughter is up yelling for me.
No worries. We'll have to speed it up and.
No, you're good.
Get you on your way.
Don't worry about it.
Dad duties are important. My dad is a father of 7, so
just give me 1 sec. I'll run up and
no worries.
Chat, and I'll just run up.
No worries. We'll just chat with each other for a minute. Anyway, we're joined live in studio. I keep saying in studio. We're the ones in studio. Finn is on Zoom, but it's just because Leif was unable to join for the first half. But I guess we can kind of break down now in the middle of this interview. Leif, what are you looking for Saturday for the Thunder and the Woodstock Lakers?
I want to see a Thunder win because,
he had to stop himself right there. We could cut that if we wanted to, but we're not going to.
That's all I want to say.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good game. I think Woodstock, with that game against Strathroy, I think they played a much better game than their first two. And there's this league, any team can win on any night, right? Like, if you look at the stats, he's smirking over here. But anyway, Finn's back, so we'll jump back.
Sorry, boys.
It. No worries, man. No worries.
My wife was in with the baby.
No worries.
So I had to go get one of the other ones.
Yeah, we're just chatting about what's going to happen on Saturday anyway, so it's all good. We didn't have the chance to talk about it today because he was working when I shot the first half. So, but anyway, Leif, why don't you follow up with your next question?
I just want to ask how you're. You know what? You ask it.
Okay. Well, anyway, he just wanted to ask how he worded it wrong, and now I got to do it. But
that's all right. It's okay.
How would you say your experience as a veteran player rubs off and helps these young guys, like you said, Wycheck and these young guys that come into the league? Would you say you're like a role model to them? Like they learn stuff from you. Like,
well, I don't know about a role model, but
no, in terms of on the ice, I mean,
no, I just I try to talk to everybody, like the young guys, the older guys. Now that I am the old guy, I treat everybody the same, right? I chirp everybody. You're not safe if I'm around.
Good.
And then when I'm on the ice, like you pretty much know what you're going to get from me. Like I'm not going to try and skate the puck down the ice and dangle and all that stuff.
That would be cool.
I'm pure sandpaper. So yeah, stone hands. That's pretty much it.
I don't know. I've seen some flashes. I've seen the offensive talent show through, but
every now and again, a blind squirrel finds a nut.
Exactly. So. You have to show it off every once in a while just to remind the opposition that don't mess.
Well, that's why our first skate with Sean this year, I scored and I cellied.
Oh, that is awesome.
He's like, "Did you just celly?" I'm like, "I celly every goal in practice because I don't get many in the game, so I got to celly here."
That is great. Might as well. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Chicks dig the guys that score goals. I don't know why I said dig goals, but you know what? If you can score them in practice, I know I'm going to see at least a couple in games this year. I'm looking forward to it. If I was a betting man.
I've been with my wife for 20 years, so it doesn't really matter to me.
That's what I'm saying, though. She digged you in the first place because she knew you could score goals. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't think that was it. It was more what I did with my
Yeah,
fist. That's kind of what did it back in the junior days.
Yeah, back in the junior
Goal
days,
scoring.
she was like, "Yeah, nobody's ever gonna be able to mess with this guy." Oh, I know. Nobody's gonna mess with you in this league either. They're too scared. If they're not gonna fight Abraham, they're not gonna fight you either. So,
I have not been in a fight in the Super League yet.
well, I mean, you get
Knock
tossed
on
from the
wood.
freaking game. So here,
it's been a while.
It's
Yeah.
What was your last fight? A couple years ago, WOAA or?
I want to say my last fight was in Petrolia.
Oh,
in
of course it was.
WOAA.
Yep.
And I've had a few fights there because it's Petrolia. So, and when I played in St. Thomas, we played there.
Yep.
And then played in Petrolia for whatever it was, 12 years, 13 years it was in the old league.
Yep.
So
you built
I've been a few of them there.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, they're one of those teams. I don't know if they've changed it. I mean, I saw Biggers and Kudo going at it, but you know, I know it's not quite the same as what it used to be in the WOAA. That's for sure, like fighting wise.
Yeah.
So
not even close.
No, not even close. But that's why I'm going to lean into the next one.
Well, when I first started playing senior, it was a 2-fight rule.
Yeah, 2 fights. That's what we thought it was when we first came, because the announcer announces over the PA that it's 5 for fighting. So you go, oh, nice, it's 2 fights, and then all of a sudden, the guy's gone, and you're like, okay, well.
Yeah, well, no, my first fight in senior was in Moncton.
Okay.
And I fought, which I didn't know at the time, it was apparently whatever heavyweight tough guy, and everyone was trying to tell me that. I'm like, well, I'm not a slouch here. I don't care. But I was like, I was going to skate off, and the liney grabbed me, and he's like, no, I got to go to the box. I'm like, no, I just got in a fight. Like, I'm out. He's like, no. 2-fight rule in this league. I was like, oh, okay, let's get back at her then.
Let's get back at her. 5 minutes.
But luckily, everything's gotten better and better every year.
Yeah, for sure.
When I first started to where senior is now for us at this level.
For sure.
Night and day.
For sure. That's my next question, which is perfect that you set that up, because I was going to ask, what has the Western Ontario Super Hockey League done to improve the experience for players just as much as it has for fans?
Well, the WOA letting Andrew Rogers get away was probably a big one, right?
Yeah.
Like he took the podcast over to the new league.
Yeah.
And the new league jumped in with him. I know whatever happened, there was stuff that went on the first year with him, and some other guy was doing it. Wasn't the same. So when I did it with him last year, I was glad that he was back.
For sure.
But yeah, that aspect of it, trying to get the fans more involved instead of just relying on the town to come, and hopefully, you put something in the town paper and everyone will come or whatever. But getting on social media, all that stuff this league is doing is way and above what the WOAA did, and now look at them; they don't exist anymore, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I think it was a smart move, and I know Bill and Holly were wanting to get away from that league for a long time. So I think when Jamie, that whole thing came along, I think they jumped in with both feet, and luckily, we already had a team, right? So the transition for the players really didn't matter. It was more, okay, where are we going? What's the place? Because it was only Elora, right? With the 5 teams to begin with. It was just Elora that we'd been to before. So, but yeah, no, that side of it's been, the transition was easy because it's just hockey at the end of the day.
Exactly.
But what they're doing above and beyond what we do on the ice is what's making everything better and attracting things. And then what you guys are doing now too, and what you were doing last year with the drum and everything, because our fans, I think we tend to have one of the more quieter fan bases, even though we do have a lot of people that show up. But that definitely has changed now since the drum.
Got it. That was the goal, right? Dad and I said that.
It's awesome. Yeah.
We didn't
at first was like, what is this? And then now it's like, okay, where is it?
Yeah, everybody was. I saw the guys that first game. You'd see so we get the drum going, and then after the warm up, and then everybody gets settled, and then the puck drops, and I get the first "Let's go Thunder," and I just see all the 18 heads on the bench just turn and look right over at me, and they're going, "What is going on?" So. But that was definitely hilarious. So I'm glad that we were able to do that, because it brings that energy, it brings that passion, and it it helps motivate you guys, right? Because you want to hear that
Yep.
crowd. You guys are playing for the love of the game, and also because, as I said, you guys are talented hockey players. You guys are better than the rest of us. You know, we're just beer leaguers, right? And we get to come out and see you guys and play with a guy like Queener that you, like you said, you played junior, and guys like us never got to sniff that. So to be there and to be able to support you guys and make you guys, you know, feel like you're at that level that we want to help bring you guys to. And as I said, when the drum started, I remember Holly telling us that story. He stood up in the middle, and I'd bang the drum in the playoffs at the Tilbury series specifically. I'd bang the drum, and then by the second or third banging of the drum, all the way down to the other side of the rink, fans are banging on the back of their seats and saying, "Let's go Thunder." And I thought that was awesome. And it's funny too, because Bill, I don't know if it was Bill, I don't know 100%, but somebody had tried to, I think it was Holly, because he's a Habs fan. Somebody had tried to say that it was "Go Thunder Go" for the chant. And I shut that down right away because, hey, we're Flyers fans, so let's go Flyers. Obviously, we know how syllables work. But, we tried it with the drum, the "Go Thunder Go." Didn't sound right, got the "Let's Go Thunder," and now we got Holly, we got Gavin, we got Bill, we got everybody using it now. Yeah. So, but no, I'm really appreciative that you guys even noticed it, and you guys appreciated it too, right? So,
we love it. We love it
for sure, and it's going to keep on coming. Don't worry, we got road games. Good. I'm not going to be all dressed up, all fancy, and calling the game on the road. So you're gonna.
When I heard you were doing the games, my first thought was, well, who's going to bang the drum?
Don't worry, we got it covered.
But you got it taken care of, so I'm good.
Yeah, and Holly said to me, if my dad and him don't do a good enough job, he's demoting me to banging the drum, and these two can go and do the play-by-play. So that shows how important the drum is to these guys. So
absolutely.
But yeah, so we're just running out of time here. We're getting to.
Sorry, I had to dip out there.
About half an hour. No worries, Finn. It's no big deal. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for joining us on this episode 3 of Thunder Hour. Once again, Trey Hamilton, Leif Dietrich, and Mike Findlay. Thank you again, Mike, for being out here with us. We appreciate everything you do on and off the ice. You're a character guy, and we definitely want to have you on again. Mid-season, couple weeks, whenever. Absolutely. If you want to be a co-host, you can join us too. I know you got kids.
I got 3 kids, so they keep me busy.
Hey, you know what? They can join us on the show too, and just say what's up.
Yeah, one was almost on with me tonight.
Exactly. That would have been awesome.
Wanting to go to bed.
Super dad moment right there. But once again,
exactly.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Finn. And we'll be in touch. And good luck Saturday. And let's go Thunder.
Thanks, boys. Hey, thanks, boys. You're doing a great job, so keep going, okay?
Thanks a lot, Finn. We appreciate it. We're going to keep it going just for you because you're a beauty.
All right, thanks, boys.